But not in the airport. Yeah, I can recommend yeah.
Okay, we will continue. Now you will take individual survival training game, okay? Let's see, where is my pointer? I lost my laser pointer. The situation background. Actually, I was the Navy, like a special agent. I need to take 12 courses, like a master degrees. So one of the course is this anti-terrorism training program. So of course, I cannot really keep complete with the same one. Therefore, as long as I remembered, I write it down and start writing this book. So you can find it. So situation background number, this one, is that you are traveling in a new city as a government business. Government means like DOD officer or others. And you faced an incident originated from a terroristic group. Consider the best action you should conduct for various situations, okay? First one, active shooter situation. In January 2011, 6 were, actually I joined the ONR 2010, so I took this exam 2011. So usually every year this training are changed according to the new incident, okay? So the January 2011, 6 were killed and several wounded in the active shooters attack on a political event. In light of the recent attacks, Department of Defense personnel like you consider how to prepare for the active shooter threat. What should you do if there is an active shooter incident and evacuation is not possible? Of course, some of the Japanese tourists has got attacked in Hawaii, I think Guam Island, by a kind of terrorists, crazy guys, and killing. So Japanese persons are killed, more than 10 people at that time. Similar situation, okay? If you got this, A, B, C, what would you like to choose? You can read it. Identify items that can be possibly used to attack the active shooters. So like attacking, okay? B, seek cover in the area that can be closed off and barricaded. C, immediately inform first responders for help. Can you understand the content? So if you agree A, raise A. Hand, raise hand for A. How about the B? Okay. How about C? Okay. The answer. Important issue for us. Don't try to fight against the active shooters. So A is terrible. You will be killed, okay? The hide, protect yourself immediately without shouting and running. In Guam, most of the tourists are shouting, "Ah!" That is a good target from the terrorists. So they will chase this person, okay? Therefore, this should not happen. So don't say anything when attack comes. So very quiet, and you don't move. And in the case of firearm is usually gun. Gun situations, they are crouch on the floor, or while in the case of a grenade, that's a jigenbakudan, bang, okay, bomb. In that case, attitude is totally different. So you need to initially learn gun or grenade which one is really the situation. Lie flat on the floor. So if you find that some of the, some balm is provided, just flat. That's important, okay? Don't say anything. That's most important. So B, okay? And number 2, a U.S. soldier was killed, another injured in a 2009 attack, okay? This is the Navy's, the volunteer collection, the area. So the one guy really crazily moved in and attacked. You should dive for cover immediately. And you also know that in the event of an attack with firearms, you should crouch, okay? Don't lie. You need to move, crouching and moving to the other area. So on the floor. But what should you do in the event of the grenade? I already mentioned the answers. So ABC, okay? I will ask. They dive for cover and run for the exit on the first possible opportunity. A. B. Dive behind something solid and lie flat on the floor. C. Dive behind something solid and crouch on the floor. Okay? A. No person A. B. B is rather majority. C. Okay? So if you find the sum of the balm, just flat, that's the answer. Don't move anything. So do not try to fight against. This is the same, the comment. So B is the correct answer. C, next one, air travel situation. In this case, while in the airport, be on a guard for unattended luggage, okay? And keep your luggage with you all times. This is, of course, you are familiar with this. A gentleman approached you and asked you a deal. If you can check one of his bags in your name, and he will pay you $20, okay, $20 fee. And this way, he can save the cost of a much higher baggage, such as, usually you may know one luggage in the United States, the additional carry baggage. The flight companies like United usually ask $100. So to escape this, sometimes we did it, okay? So $20, that's nothing, just carrying inside, okay? So that should not accept the bag, okay? And what do you do? Select the correct answer. Number 1, alert air ticket personnel when you arrive at the counter, line up, so going up to this counter. Yes, I was asked this guys and something, okay? And B, tell that person directly that the checking someone else's luggage is against the TSA rule, okay? Number C, immediately call for security and alert them to the situation. Can you understand? Your selection. A, raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. So B, raise your hand. Nobody. 1, okay. He's really brave. C seems to be majority, okay? Don't try to fight against a suspicious person. So B is dangerous. If you tell them, you may be killed by gun, okay? So the B should be skipped. and report any incident immediately without hesitation. In my textbook, I also provide, don't wear noticeable prominent costume. Sometimes Jalpak or others and making this and coming in, okay? That's really dangerous situation, okay? You need to remember it. That even if you are joining this, you need to keep left side or right separately and without using any noticeable situation. And behave like a separate. That's most important issue, okay? And including a package tour uniform or badge or unnecessary group behavior, okay? This included the targeted risk from the attackers. And actually, if you, yes, I found some of the person A. This is too late. Before reaching to this, probably this luggage may start to explode, okay? If you find some particular incident, you need to immediately call or ask the security. That's most important issues. Yes?
If security is not close, if they're like walking around,
airport.
do you think you should shout for security, or do you think go quietly to security and then tell them? Because if you shout, then it could cause panic. And then
You say no security?
no, if there is security, but they're not like right next to you, it's like, do you think you should shout for security, or
Just go there.
don't say anything
Yes.
and just go? Okay.
You can find any security in the United States airport. If no security, of course, terrorists will attack, okay? So we have a couple of meters securities. So you can reach to this security immediately. Of course, shouting is another possibility if this guy doesn't have a gun, okay? If you immediately shout, you may be killed. Just be careful, okay?
But if he knows I will go to security, he also will kill me, maybe.
Yes, just be careful. So immediately, so initially, if you are requested, no, that's it, okay? And immediately go to the security place and talk with
Maybe
it.
go to the washroom at first. And if I'm a girl and he is a terrorist and he's a man, and he cannot come with the same bathroom, right?
Why can't?
Good idea.
Yeah.
But if you go to the washroom, no security is there.
I can.
You need to contact the security person as soon as possible.
I will call by the phone, call woman
Okay.
security to the washroom.
If you know the security numbers, yes, you can call, and you can escape
Yeah.
to the washroom. That's one possibility. Yes.
You just said there's no security in the bathroom. What if you get asked in the bathroom?
She would like to hide.
If I'm a man and I'm in the toilet, and the airport toilets are big, and there's like a lot of booths, and then there's like a lot of space. If I get asked there, should I just run out, or like?
Anyhow, if you can find the security will come with you. So you are safe.
So I asked security to come with me to the bathroom.
No. Forget the bathroom, okay? Bathroom is her own favorite, okay?
I've had experience of being mugged in a bathroom. Because bathrooms are, they
I'm
know
not
that there's
using
no
usually bathroom, so immediately after rejecting, I will approach to the security and talk with him. So this guy will approach to this guy, okay?
Professor, how about my response I had? I pretend I couldn't understand what he is talking to me, so I cannot understand English or that kind of stuff.
日本語じゃなくて
That's fine, so you can decline, okay?
No, some kind of strange behavior.
Then the terrorist will call security.
What I use this technique is I was a kind of caught by the police by the speeding ticket, okay? In that case, driving and showing the international, the driver's license, and the police asked something, okay? Sorry, I don't understand. Of course, I should not use English, but what? So police usually abandon. What the heck, okay? And leaving. That's it, okay? So only that situation I pretend not to use the English, okay? Next one, ground travel situations. Items important to this security, okay? So anyhow, you need to rent a car. What is the most important issues from this, again, the terrorist attack viewpoint, okay? A GPS unit in case you get lost. So if this include this GPS system or the navigation system, this seems to be, this is A. B, air conditioning to allow you keep windows closed securely in warm weather. C, airbag in case of an accident. Which is highest priority from a Navy officer's viewpoint? This is a little difficult, maybe. So I will ask A, raise your hand. A is a GPS system when you lost, okay? So the B, air conditioning system. Okay? C, airbag. Okay, completely split now. Answer? Consider the traveler's security against a terrorist attack as the highest priority. GPS is your own convenience. We don't care, okay, from a security's viewpoint. And airbag is for your personal safety. It's not the terrorist attack viewpoint. Terrorists, they need the information from me. As I told you, if I go to China, yes, I may get in, but I cannot get out because my name is already listed, like a blacklist in the Chinese, the immigration office. Therefore, they need to catch me and get some of the Navy's, confidential issues. That's the terrorist or other, the important issue. So personal safety doesn't matter. So you can easily understand the answer, okay? B, air conditioning system. Without having an air conditioning system, you may need to open the doors. In that case, from a security, so a terrorist attack viewpoint, it's easy to grab it, okay? My wife, even in a state college, she was opening slightly the windows during the road. So the guy came in and took her bag out, okay? From the opening a window is most risky in the United States. So robbery and theft, everything can happen, okay? So you need to completely close all the doors. That's the most important issue, okay? So consider the travelers. And when you rent a car, check your suspicious items, bomb or wire trapping or others. You need to open the hood and check basically everything, okay? If you can find unidentified some mark, this may be a tracking GPS system or others, so we need to remove it, okay? Or call the agent. Agent means the rental car persons, and ask, is this really necessary or not, okay? Next one, you should choose your route carefully, especially in strange cities. You spend the night at your hotel, and the next day, you prepare to go to the facility hosting your conference. This is the base, like an Air Force base, okay? Air Force Base. So we need to go there from Comfy Inn. This is a hypothetical my hotel, okay? Comfy Inn and driving this and going to the Air Force Base. We need to go there. In that case, report, there is a major road construction on the route. You plan to take and significant delays are expected. What is the best way to determine a new route to go there? Select the correct response. Use a current city map and plan a new route using a major road. This is A. B. Use a GPS system to plan a new route using a side street. C. Choose to ask the hotel receptionist for the best route to the facility. Can you understand the three choices? So A. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Rather large majority. Now B. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, this is also a large number. Now the C. Only one. Why do you choose C?
Yeah, because actually, of course, I'm not familiar with this area, and the receptionist knows pretty well in the local area. So
Okay. DOD's comment are here. Note that the detour is occasionally a trap by the terrorist group. Terrorists usually take this. So basically, don't choose a side local road. That's important issues. And the third one, are you a Japanese?
Yes.
You believe a hotel person, okay? Hotel person may also be bribed by bribed by the terrorist group. This is occasional, particularly in South America, okay? North America, yes, we have some terrorists, but it's not so popular. But depending on the countries, you are going to the different countries. I went to the Santiago, Chile, this area, okay? Don't believe any hotel person, okay? And the Japanese may believe the hotel uniform person easily, but the uniform, everybody can change the uniform. So if you believe the uniform, you will be killed, okay? They are not considering this bribed situation in foreign countries. So you believe the Japanese doesn't have this brave by the robbery or others, but you are very familiar with the other countries' situations, okay? The police don't believe police, don't believe the hotel person, uniform person. They may be a real police or may not be, just a uniform, okay? Don't believe any uniform. If really need to be identified, show me the ID. But you are not familiar with the, that country's police ID, again, another fake, okay? So this is the trap, and the trap to take personal trafficking. Person trafficking. Are you familiar with this? The many American, blonde ladies trapped in Thailand or Philippines and sell it to the Russia country or others, like prostitute. Okay, this is very occasionally happen. So the Navy is also concerned about this human trafficking. So if we find some of the suspicious incident, I need to report to the Navy's officers. So this is the general situation. Don't believe any hotel person, okay?
Excuse me?
Yes?
I assume the terrorist groups prefer bigger effort.
Mm-hmm.
So they are interested in doing something major roles compared to the side street.
Yes. This TV news, of course, if I'm a really high, the top persons, this traffic accident is intentionally made, and try to the escape from this big road. If the traffic is cut here, okay, in that case we need to take a detour or others. They are really considering these situations and put the trap on this side road, okay. So hotel security, again, hotel rooms, this is not the quiz, but typically when you travel outside, which room would you like to choose in the hotel?
Which room?
Yeah, high floor or facing to the beautiful scenery or main road or others, okay?
Cheapest one.
Huh? What?
Cheapest room.
Cheapest, okay. Cheapest. Do you think cheapest is really safe? I'm not asking any financial situation. I'm asking from a security viewpoint, okay? Cheapest usually, do you know where is the cheapest room?
First floor.
Usually the inside and also close to the exit. The stairs or others, these are usually cheapest. This is most dangerous place. Okay, initially the floors don't take high and don't take first or second floor. Third to fifth floor. This is mandatory for the Navy officers for travel. Okay, and the rooms on the first and second are easily accessible from the outside. Okay, and the rooms above the fifth floor are difficult to reach by emergency service. So if the bomb or fires happened, of course, if we stay the 25th floors, elevators are gone, how can we leave during this period? The terrorists try to catch me or kill me, either ways. Therefore, the higher is higher risk. Okay, fifth or sixth, up to the fifth floor, the fire, like a ladder car can easily reach this. Therefore, we have a good possibility to escape from this fire and so on. And not immediately adjacent from the fire escape or emergency exit. This is the cheapest room usually, okay? In this case, criminals may target these rooms due to the ease of escape. Of course, you can escape from the fire in that case, but parallelly, the scenario you need to remember this, you are attacked by terrorists. So a terrorist attack must be protected. In that case, don't take the emergency exit or escape the rooms, okay? And don't face to the main road. It's easy to observe from the other side. So the back side, usually nothing. Therefore, you had better take rooms, back side, and 3 to 5th floor, and far from the exit area, okay? Oh. Last one, no balcony. No balcony is important. If you can find a balcony is the invasion part, okay? Hotel security. Someone came in, okay? You will see from the peeping hole, okay? So through the peephole, you see a man in the hotel staff uniform holding a tray. Yes, this is the fruit service or something, and came in. How you need to take the action? A, ask him to leave the tray outside the doors, listen for him to leave, and then open the doors. B, use the chain lock, put your foot behind the doors, and then open the door slightly to get a better view of the person. C, call the front desk to confirm the delivery. Can you understand 3? Okay. A, raise your hand.
Dangerous.
1, 2, 3.
I think A is dangerous. Oh, no, no.
A?
No. I think A is dangerous. I want to tell them.
Initially, no bias. So initially A. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. B. 1, 2, only 2. And C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. This is majority, okay? We are not recommending C, actually.
Because they are neighbor. Why?
Why did you choose C? Do you believe this guy has not been braved? Actually, terrorist has a network paying $100 to keep the the front guys. Or sometimes telephone lines are taken by the terrorist already. Therefore, answer comes from the terrorist. Okay? Therefore, checking from the front desk, the same situation. A hotel uniform guy, don't believe them. Hotel front guys, don't believe them. Okay? They are braved usually in the South America. Okay? Okay? And use the chain lock, of course. This is, how can I say, the still already opened. So it's easy to bang, okay, break in. So a chain is not strong enough by the American big guys. It's easy to break, okay? So A is usually recommended by the navies, okay? Tray outside. So just keep it. I'm using a bathroom, so just keep it. So they will put it and listening carefully. And if these guys are really leaving, you can open and take this tray in. Just a typical.
For example, in the case of A, maybe there are a lot of guys outside. So how do you ensure that okay, everyone has gone?
If you still have anxieties, don't open it until next day. Don't take this service. Okay? But if you completely decline, the guy may consider, I have already suspicions. Therefore, don't make this suspicion. In that case, they will really attack by hitting this. Okay? Escape from any unnecessary incident. Therefore, just leave it. I'm still using a bathroom, so I leave it. I will take it later. Okay? If you still think 1 hour later, if somebody seems to be outside, don't take this.
How about there is a very dangerous stuff on the tree? It will bomb after maybe 1 hour.
This service?
Yeah, but I cannot see from the hole. What's on the tree?
So if you think this is a bomb, do not touch it, therefore close it. And in that case, how do you behave inside the hotel?
Ask the desk man help me to take
Flat
it away.
in the bed. Flat under the bed and keep it. Okay? If 1 hour, 2 hours later, nothing happened, it's not the bomb. Okay? Usually, servicing and without opening, this must start bomb. Otherwise, this is disclosed. Therefore, they will set the 10 minutes later or 5 minutes later. Therefore, if you have some suspicions, keep it and flat below the bed so you are safe, okay? If the bombs happen.
So,
Yes?
excuse me, so in this case, how about ask the front desk to come here and to check the train?
That's another possibility. Yes, this is just a 3 items. Okay. So what would you like to think best, okay, among these? So
How about the situation is a little bit different. Some lady waitress or this service lady, and he knocked the door, and sometimes asked that I have a very important thing for you, or that kind of thing. I did have that kind of experience.
This may work for Anegawa sensei, okay? This is called, usually called, you may know, okay? This is usually called honey trap, okay? So when I travel to Korea, I need to take a special agent, another day, like a regular check. Korea is a special situation. So before going, one day prior, Navy criminal investigator, a kind of FBI related, came in to my office, and I will take the confidential testing. That means without showing, I need to remember the 20 or 25 photos. Most of them are Russian and Korean beautiful ladies. You can understand. I need to remember all. These are honey trap, okay? Spies by the North Korea and Russia. Therefore, I need to remember all. And usually, like a test comes, computer comes, this is in or out, but. So remembering a 25 beautiful ladies' picture in a couple of minutes, I'm crazy, okay? It's really tough. I try to take a picture, no picture, nothing, okay? No memo. This is the special agent, okay? If I write a memo is taken by the other terrorist. Therefore, just the brain memory, all pictures must be really, accumulated. And going to Korea, and I didn't put any Korean exercise. If you are interested in which bar is safe or not safe, or human trafficking and so on, all test is also made. I'm skipping this part, okay? Anyhow, honey trap, okay? Don't believe the ladies. So this is the next one, hotel room invasions. In this scenario, the traveling and spending a night, suddenly you hear the crash of the doors, already crashed, and somebody they invaded. And two armed men wearing hood enter your room, already entering. How you need to behave. So A, don't resist. Slowly crouch to the floor and don't make any sudden movement that might be considered threatening. B, attempt to seize a weapon from one of the assailants if one is close to you. C, dive for cover behind the solid piece of furniture and then run for the door. Can you understand? A. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, almost majority. B. Now you understand the basic, okay? Most dangerous. And C. Dive for cover behind the solid piece of furniture and then run. 2, 3, 4, okay? The answer? A. Why did you choose C?
Because even if I don't resist the terrorists, yeah, maybe I might be shot.
Yes, firearm, you learned the dive and cover solid piece. This is in general, but this armed person already in. You already faced. Dive in. Watch the armed person will behave. Just shoot, okay? It's not safe. So don't resist. First, dive and hide is a kind of a resistance. If the guy is outside the doors, they are not looking in, and who doesn't know me, and so on, in that case, dive, and yes, that's correct. Okay? Number 2, situation. This is a little advanced. Anti-terrorism training. Situation is this. You became a captive prisoners. Some of the Japanese already trapped by the, what's that, Iraq area, okay? And ISIS already trapped and finally killed, okay? Therefore, this kind of captive or prisoners, unfortunately, you are already trapped. The most important issues I will show you immediately later is the next one, okay? Anyhow, captive. You may need to escape from the prison by yourself. Consider the best action you should conduct for a various situation. This is a rather famous, still some of the person remembers, anonymous in a hostage crisis, Algeria. The Tanaka sensei is not here. So Tanaka senseis are the, what's that? The originally Nikki company, now J something, Japan. Anyhow, his company's employees moved to the anonymous, the Algeria place, okay? In Amenas, hostage crisis begins 2013. And when Al-Qaeda linked terrorists affiliated with this, and this guy is the leader, and 800 people hostage at this place. This is the gas facilities. So any places which you go, and at least 39 foreign hostages were killed, along with the Algerian security guard, and 29 militants, a total of this amount, okay? Actually, largest number of the Japanese killed. Why the Japanese rate is so high compared to the other countries' person? So you need to learn how to escape or skip. So kidnap, escape, situation 1. Suppose that you are in Amenas, okay, in Africa, and you are in your private apartment. Basically, this is the private apartment in Amenas, these facilities. Just behind around here, you can find this like a prehab-like apartment house, okay? So each house, you can find 2 doors, and there are many. Most of the foreign, the engineers are staying in this apartment house, okay? So you heard the machine gun. Now the machine gun here, okay? In the next door, then you heard the terrorist voice outside your apartment door. Open the door, okay? Outside the door. They open the door. How will you respond? A, following the order, you will open the door. B, you will hide behind the cupboard. This is inside. Sofa, TV, bed, just simple structures, and cupboard, okay? And B is behind the cover. Cupboard is relatively thick, solid materials, okay? C, you will fall face down on the floor below the bed. Which would you like to choose? Open the door. You need to behave immediately, okay? A, nobody. B, 1, 2. C, yes, you are correct, actually. Don't try to fight against active shooters. This is regular situation. But hide, protect yourself immediately without shouting and running. And in the case of firearms, in this case firearms, crouch on the floor generally And in the case of grenade, usually flat on the floor. But in this case, you cannot escape even a crouching. This is completely closed, the apartment house. Therefore, once they will invade from here, okay, usually after getting in, the machine gun is usually taken. So crouching backside the cupboard is usually dangerous, usually hit automatically. If you can crouch and moving out somewhere different, the story is different. But you need to find, you cannot escape from this room. So you need to hide. Therefore, bed and flat completely. So the most of the European who escaped and they didn't really got the injury is very similar. So they all hidden inside the bed. Okay? To the contrary, I don't know the real situation. Some of the Japanese may follow this, therefore automatically kidnapped and killed. Okay? So some guy may take this, but there's a few people who really hide below the bed and escaped from this attack. That's really true from a Japanese, the newspaper release. Okay? They are mostly killed. You need to learn what is escaping, and highest probability to keep your life, okay? C. Next. Yes, you are already unfortunately kidnapped by the ISIS, okay? And you have seen some of the lineup and the killing and taking this food and so on. Yes, fortunately, you escaped from the gas facility, okay? And running. And southwest of Inanimas. When Al-Qaeda linked terrorist attacked the facility, you try to find the best place for evasion shelter. Okay, number one, A, riverside cliff for drinking water. B, flat hill, relatively flat hill, to be found easily from the helicopter of your rescue team. C, deep forest. Okay? 3 possibilities. So I will ask you. A, raise your hand. 1, 2, 3. B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. C, majority, okay? The answer C is correct. Your tracer team will come first to the riverside. This is the typical tracer's attitude. You may go to the rivers to drink water. Therefore, if you go directly to the riverside, yes, next minute you will be arrested. Okay? And the flat hill, this is the final escaping situation. As long as you already contacted with other rescue, the teams, yes, you need to go there, but the minimum period, only the 3 minutes or 5 minutes maximum. Otherwise, it's easy to be discovered by the tracers, okay? So next, you escaped from the gas facility located southwest of the Inanimas, and when Al-Qaeda, I will skip this, you hid in a deep forest now, okay? And by making an evasion shelter. However, you need to return to the safe US-related territory, okay? To which you do not know the directions. By the way, how about the Ministry of Defense or GA's behavior for these issues? Do you recall? They didn't send any rescue, okay? Japanese didn't send any rescue. Therefore, I'm intentionally writing a US base. You can find a lot of US base around there, okay? even in Africa. So as long as you request the help, yes, U.S. will help. So the U.S. related base camp, to which you do not know the direction. The next day, you see the old man and approaching to your shelter and spotted you. Okay? And what will you do? This old man doesn't wear the military uniform without weapons and seems to be a local resident, just apparent. Okay? How would you like to work? A, run, escape, okay, yourself. B, prepare pointy talker. Pointy talker is of course, a kind of translation. I'll show you. This kind. A language aid. So our Navy officers are mandatory to keep these pointy talkers. This is a Muslim, Turkish, the Armenian, Aramaic, or Kurdish. I'm not familiar with the languages. Anyhow, going to some places, we need to keep this so-called pointy talker because we do not, they explain it. Therefore, just show and communicate with each other. Of course, you may consider to bring this electronic translator, but don't believe it. These escape orders. Usually, battery is gone already in a week or so. Therefore, you cannot use this, electronic materials. Therefore, we usually keep this in the pocket or the uniform. So this is the situation. So prepare pointy talker and try to communicate with this person. C, shoot this old man. Okay? A, 1. B, of course, I explained a little longer, so rather majority. C, you kill? You kill the guy. Okay. The answer, as you can imagine, you can read this. But anyhow, the pointy talker is the best way. Okay. Yes, killing a person is really highest security for yourself, but you cannot escape. You cannot return back to the base. You don't have any directions, okay? Therefore, if you don't want to return back to the US base, yes, you can kill this guy. But as long as you would like to return back, some of the risk must be taken. And try to discuss with this guy and showing this, where is the base or the US person or American or others. You can find some of this, this communication, okay? Okay, a little more. You were found, unfortunately, by the chasers and captured again. The enemy asked you, who are you and what are you doing in my country? How would you respond? So you have seen lots of this ISIS message or others similar to this. So you need to behave if you read it. So A, quickly respond with your full name and the true mission of the statement. B, remain silent. C, stall, provide first name and state that you are doing nothing wrong. Okay? A. No person? No A?
Here.
Oh, here. Okay. B.
No.
Eh?
I missed.
Okay. Now B, remain silent. For 5. C, majority. Yes, answer is C. remember how much you can disclose to the terrorist and answer minimum, less information, and the remaining silent is very risky. You will be killed immediately without saying nothing. This is like a resistance to the terrorist. So terrorist is not the country's regular armies. So they easily kill you, okay? So remain silent is most risky. You need to answer. So in my case, if I were asked, I'm Kenji, missing Uchino. But at least I answered something. So I will escape from a killing, okay, shooting. So initially consider to protect yourself, but not releasing all the information immediately, okay? And state that you are doing nothing wrong for keeping dignity. That's the U.S. Navy's officers' initial purpose, okay? And communication with possible other captives is essential. I will mention another training on the next slide. Keep your dignity and do not lose the courage to escape, and nor the hope of rescue by the U.S. SWAT team. U.S. usually, they will send a SWAT team. Therefore, we will have a good chance to escape or rescued from some captured place. Yes, we are lucky. Japanese, very unlucky. The Ministry of Defense does not send any military to the outside countries. So your Japanese citizens are really unlucky. The government will not cover anything for your life, okay? Therefore, I'm strictly insisting in the first day. What did I say? Is Japan independent country? My simple answer, no, okay? Your citizens are not covered by the Japanese military. So you are trapped. You need to ask some U.S., but through the Japanese, like how can I say, foreign affairs route, so it takes really long, okay? U.S., the president has a responsibility to rescue for the U.S. citizens in any countries, any captured situation. Therefore, they will send a SWAT team, okay? So C is the correct answer. Now, this is the communication tools, quadratic alphabet tap code. The quadratic alphabet tap code is taken like this to show some attack. It's not my computer.
Yeah. Yesterday also it comes.
I don't mind. This is not my laptop, so this is infected. So basically, this is the tap code. Usually, our Navy, military, all military are using. That means to show the G, one example, the first is this. So dot, dot is the 2, and dot, dot, again, 2 create a G. So to show I, dot, dot, and dot, 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 dot. So that means this means I, okay? So just to check it, I will make another one. Okay? Did you realize?
Yeah.
This is O, okay? So this tap code is better than Morse code. Are you familiar with Morse code? Like SOS, ton, 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 tu, 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 tun, tun, tun. Okay? long and short are combined. That's the Morse code. But Morse code is not usually used because long, how can I? This is just a short, all short. Therefore, Morse code is not very helpful for communicating each other. This is only electronic, okay? So usually just this sound. What is this? 2 and 4, so I, okay? So it's easy to remember, and 5, 5, and C and K are just doubled, the same meaning, okay? Almost the same, the pronunciation. Therefore, you can make all alphabet. 26 alphabet can make a 25. Do you understand? This is a structure. Therefore, again, attack.
Maybe because of your file.
My file doesn't have any problem. Okay. Usually, the ISIS, this territory, we can find multiple soldiers trapped already. Therefore, we had better communicate each other through the wall or any places. Therefore, usually we use talking loudly or talking through wall. So this sound is easy, okay? So select the word being translated from the list. I need this sound. Can I use where is the speaker?
Speaker not working. To pick up the sound.
Okay. Careful. Oh. How can I increase the voice level?
It's maximum.
This is maximum. You cannot listen. Actually, I need the audio, okay? Usually the video, everything includes audio. Unfortunately, this room is not really audio room. Therefore, I will skip this part. So training will be skipped. Basically, I'm showing this, the sound like this, okay? So seeing is not a good idea, but actually, can you translate this word, ABC? What is ABC? Which one? A, raise your hand. B. B, majority. C. No person? Okay. Actually, this is the audio training, but this room doesn't have any audio speakers. So I'm showing this like this, and covering by the TV some sound, English, so that you need to carefully listen and distinguish this sound. And this is the typical training for taking this class. Okay. This is worldwide actually the code, like a Morse code. Therefore, as long as you learn it, you can communicate with any language-speaking persons. Okay. The next one is the kidnaps escape situation. So I will roughly skip. There are lots of different ways. So this is the bad cop, good cop strategy, and this is the movie actually. The captor has one individual physical abuse or threaten you, while another cop is usually providing the saves or protects you. Okay, this is the good cop, bad cop, and this combination. So captor. So remember, both are interrogators, and the good cop sets this up, set you up actually, and take any information. Therefore, don't be grateful. So this kind of the strategy, how do you call it? There are many type of this interrogation systems. So disgrace, accusation, and so on. So this good cop, bad cop belongs to the threat and rescue techniques. So actually, as a the special agent, we are trained how to get how to make interrogation. So how much the information can we get, like police, okay? So we are trained to receive some of the information from each countries, okay? So kidnap. Another one, during a captive period, you have been ordered to record the terrorist message. So you have seen some of the message. Also, Japanese were trapped by the ISIS and creating some movies, okay? So they would like to make movies and advertise to, how can I say, to make propaganda of the ISIS. Therefore, they try to include many things. But how much can you really disclose? Okay? Which of the following statements should you deliver during recording? A. Explain the innocent circumstances leading to your capture. B. Describe sustained injuries. C. Identify senior sergeant with you in captive. Okay? D. Apologize for U.S. presence in the region and say the U.S. forces should withdraw. E. State that you are being treated well by your captors and express regret for loss of innocent lives. Okay? Totally 5. So A, can you disclose or deliver this address? A, yes, you raise your hand. Others, you should not deliver this part. How about B? Describe your, I have injury and so on. Just a 7, okay? C, senior sergeant is with me. Just one person. D, apologize the U.S. presence around that area. No person. E, state that you are being treated well. Reasonably large number. This is completely prohibited. So basically, you may mention name, physical condition, and other captives with you. You had better mention this. However, never mention you did wrong. And your treatment or the captor's treatment is well. This is completely prohibited. This is the purpose why the ISIS will, they use you to make this presentation. Okay, so this is already trapped by the ISIS. Okay, don't mention anything about the treatment is good. That's prohibited. Also, don't mention our U.S. or Japan did wrong. Okay. Others should be really delivered during this address. Can you get it? This is actually legally recommended in the. So the escape from with the dignity, that's our, the soldiers, general, the how can I say, some strong trunk, okay? Escape is essential. And with dignity. Therefore, if we mention U.S. presence, we did wrong, it's not good. And also don't mention enemy is good, okay? ABC should be delivered. And the next, situation 8, you have been asked to participate in an interview now, okay? Again, television. Or CNN comes and taking an interview. Of course, ISIS, some of the captives were taken this interview. So interview with a local media. This is local media, like this Middle East areas TV. Which of the following statement should you use during the course of the conversation? A, I would like to thank my captors for their good treatment. B, for the most part, our group is doing well. C, our enemies are not responsible for the actions declared by the U.S. forces. Okay? D, I would like to return to the United States, the government control. E, I would like to speak to the U.S. Embassy, which we can disclose or through the interview. If you think yes, just raise your hand. A, I'd like to thank my captors. Of course, this is prohibited, okay? Don't praise for the enemies. B, for the most part, our group is doing well. That means health, okay? Yes, this can be disclosed, okay? This should be really reported. C, our enemies are not responsible. Our enemy, that means ISIS, are not responsible for the actions declared by our U.S. force. Of course, this should not be mentioned, okay? D, I would like to return to the U.S. government control. How about E, I would like to speak to the U.S. Embassy. Okay? Though declaring that I would like to speak with the U.S. Embassy is a regular right during a normal country-country war. However, international terrorists may not accept this request. Okay? It doesn't matter. Anyhow, we can disclose or address on these issues. Okay? Health, and you are not doing bad. And also, I have some partners, sergeant, other group. So this can be disclosed. And the name for the enemies, of course, your first name first. It's fine. Without answering, what's your name? You will be killed, okay? So I'm Kenji, so they may call me Kenji. But Uchino, so if they insist, what is your family name? That's the next step. Therefore, I may answer Uchino, okay? Do not disclose any unnecessary information which are not asked initially, okay? Small, if they really request more information, just one word, continuously, okay? As long as you will answer some of the new informations, you will escape from being shot, okay? So your life will be extended by showing a small amount of new information. That's most important to get the survival. Yes?
Yeah. In this kind of situation, I think those terrorists might force us to say something good for them. So I'm treated pretty well in in their territory, or our country did wrong thing or something like that. In that kind of situation, how do we do that?
Yes. If the terrorist ISIS found her, yes, this is the best target, okay? So that makes a beautiful their advertisement, okay? So basically this is against to the regular country's rule, okay? Or paying money for buying out the kidnapping persons, which was made by the previously like Japanese like trading companies in South America. That is the worst scenario, okay? Don't pay anything. Don't praise the enemies. That's the minimum. But you need to keep your life not to be shot. That's important. So you can be hired as an espionage spies from there, ISIS, to Japan, okay? Yes, they are looking for this kind of, the personalities to keep them for the ISIS. So some of the young American, the guys were trapped and persuaded to make a terrorist attack to Boston Marathon and so on. Okay? Yes.
May I have a question? And my question is about that. If the terrorist want you to give them the national secret, and they know that you know the secret, so if I give the secret, and how the U.S. military view this situation?
So,
how is it deal with?
So if you know the American confidential issues, and if you disclose when you are kidnapped, yes, you are recognized as a spy of this country. So even if you are released, after coming back to the United States, you will be imprisoned. Okay? So the survive with dignity, that's the most important issue. Don't betray your own countries. Okay? Disclosing a confidential issue. This happened like Ed Snowden. Therefore, he is a spy of the United States. Now he cannot return back to the United States forever. He's still hiding in somewhere in Russia. Okay? So if you'd like to keep like that, okay, you can disclose the confidential issue. Okay? So keep the dignity. So if still insisted, I don't know that part, okay? Clearly mention it. I know only this, but I do not know this part. Okay? So these three are fine. Non-nation crisis management. I will skip some of the part. This is the company risk management. This is oil mining company decision making. So you have learned slightly on the decision tree from Tanaka Sensei's lectures. So basically, this is just the simplest probability. The United States Navy or military has differences between uncertainty and probabilities. Okay. Risk is usually called with knowing the probabilities. Uncertainty is a different in the meaning. Probability of finding oil by trial mining 60%, others are 40%, and the probability to find the oil by full dress mining after the successful trial mining. So trial mining will take a little lower price, like a trial mining, $500,000, but full dress mining needs $2 million, so a little expensive. So we may sometimes take a trial mining first, And once trial mining is successful, 90% probability for the full dressing. So much better. Therefore, just the calculation, you need to multiply the probability and this part. And basically, you can calculate the final reverse analysis, which you have learned from the Tanaka sensei, Inoue-san probably. She mentioned this, the reverse analysis method. So high probability, 60% for the discover oil and skipping and this. So probability, once the probability, this probability is 30%, the different branch will be helped, okay? So just a probability calculation. Another one, risk management, corporate decision making. So iPhone, Galaxy. So this part is before the next chapters. The next chapter will be the last session. So this is a simple calculation. How to create this, the typically this payoff tables. Have you ever taken the game theories? What is the KO university situation? Do you provide the payoff table from your side, or the student need to calculate the payoff table?
The example of the payoff?
Yes.
Usually in the textbook and the instructor provide the payoff
yes.
number.
Therefore, yes, many students usually ask me how to make a payoff table. Okay. Therefore, I will describe some, the process, how to calculate, how to create a payoff table. As long as you will get the payoff table, it's easy, and you have learned some of the game theories. Therefore, step 1, create a sales quantity prediction table. This is the typical one. So a Galaxy and iPhone, you may know in the United States, roughly 50-50, the total quantity, okay? So total quantity is this range. So they create a sales quantity prediction table initially from the long experience. In that case, iPhone has a slightly higher brand name if you accept, okay? The Galaxy is still in the United States, a little less, okay? I'm not talking this year, okay? Particularly last year, Galaxy lost the brand name dramatically. You may know burning happened. Therefore, iPhone majority came up. So this year, again, Galaxy is recovering, okay? So anyhow, this is just a hypothesis. If you consider the brand name for the iPhone is a little higher, so if both are high and high price, this is a simple calculation, 1.51 million for iPhone and 1 million pieces for Galaxy, slightly lower. If they're exactly the same, $230 for each, okay? Galaxy, again, if Galaxy is lower price, of course the total amount is increasing. But iPhone lower price, Galaxy higher price, of course, the iPhone becomes 2.2 million pieces and 0.7, okay? And low price and the high price iPhone, in that case, iPhone will lose down to the 0.8 million pieces and the Galaxy 2 million pieces, okay? The total number, of course, lower price, if you add the total 2.1 million pieces of this particular cell phone, but lower price, you can easily find 2.8 or 2.9 million pieces. Of course, lower price, we will expand some sales amount, okay? So total amount. So lower, of course, total 3 million pieces will be sold. And here will be, again, the same price. In that case, iPhone is 1.6, and the Galaxy will be slightly lower, 1.4. If you get this kind of sales amount totally, okay, we will consider the next. iPhone versus Galaxy, how to create the payoff table. In this case, create a payoff table. The iPhone manufacturing cost is, of course, iPhone is expensive because we are using basically the US labor. And the Galaxy, Korean labor, so at least a $10 lower manufacturing cost. And the profit, the same price, 230 and 200. In that case, profit for the iPhone is lower, all the time lower than the Galaxy, okay? So we need to consider this profit multiplied by the original total share of the pieces. Therefore, total revenue, that is the payoff table. Therefore, multiplying, therefore, you will get the profit payoff table. So this is how to create the payoff table. So original cost and engineering and the raw cost and the profit, this can be calculated initially in the companies. And the estimation for the sales total amount is the comparing in this 10-year comparison with the iPhone and the Galaxies, and we will estimate for the futures some share by increasing and decreasing these prices, okay? So as long as you will get this, the situation is simple. If the two parties can make agreement collusions, of course, both would like to take $230, both, okay? And higher and getting a best, the profit, okay? That's the general issues. However, by decreasing a price, just one betray by the iPhone or Galaxy, the Galaxy will get a little higher. In this case, iPhone will get the higher revenue, okay? Therefore, this is, again, the prisoner's dilemma that create the betray from the original collusion, okay? So finally, lower, lower, therefore final lower, lowest. So losing lots of profit, unfortunately. Therefore, we had better make a kind of collusion, international collusions, okay? But only one country, this is against the rule, regulations. Therefore, we cannot make any collusion, one country. But internationally, if we make agreement, you can make OPEC or other agreement, okay? So these parts are just shown here. And military. Military, usually, I will introduce the operation manual. I'm showing too much on this, but persistent conflict, a period, and so on. America is at war, and we live in the world where global terrorism and extreme are realities. Actually, this sentence, you may not consider at this moment you are war, okay? In the war. Japan, are you in the war? You are really, how can I say, delayed to understand the war. So two countries now clearly declared we are in the war. Which country? United States. Second, who? Which country? France. France president declared a couple months ago, we are in the severe terrorist attack. So France attacked Paris and so on. So president declared we are in the middle of war, okay? So France and the United States, we are in the middle of war, okay? You are saying Iran or others. This is not the war. Inside, like, the, how can I say, civil war, okay? It's not, war means country, or the in global terrorism and the countries, okay? Inside country, we don't call it war. This is a civil war or rebellion, okay? So most of the fighting, currently 90% are the, inside. So war is not very large. But the terrorist is really severe. Therefore, France declared war after the United States. If other countries, Germany declared war and war. If we collect the 7 countries declared war, this is called World War number 4. Okay. So military provide FM. This is a formula. Okay. Format, military format. So military operation in concert with the diplomatic, informational, and economic efforts, we clearly declared these issues. So risk management. So detailed items you can find in my textbook. So you can find the 5-point something, this, okay? So you can learn how you need to behave like as a leader in the corporate or military, the same situation. Leadership is described in this the FM3, okay? Risk management, usually decide, conduct, observe, validate. This is the sequence in the militaries. You may understand the meanings, okay? So initially, some risk happens, like the earthquake happened and the nuclear power plant explosion happened. So monitor crisis and the command system and decide actions. So we need to decide actions very quickly because the then Prime Minister Khan delayed 37 hours for this decision. Therefore, explosion happened. So this is merely the decision delay, okay? And conduct actions. And after conducting actions, the feedback is required. Assess, validate, and decide action, and act, and observe survey, and multiple times to get the final resolutions, okay? Command principle. So I just summarized some of the commanding principles as a leader of the military. So only one responsible commander for this crisis management is essential. So the earthquake or Fukushima's case, who are the commander-in-chief at that time? Prime Minister Khan, you considered like that. But the Prime Minister Khan pushed this commanding system to the TEPCO president. Therefore, chaos happened. This private company, the president, doesn't have any experience for this crisis technologies, crisis attack. The similar situation, if the North Korea is invading or launching the missile, only one company president cannot do anything, okay? The same situation, there's a nuclear power plant, bang, okay? This is not the responsibility for the only one private company. The same situation happened in the 3 Mile Island, okay? 3 Mile Island, of course, this is one Pennsylvania electric company's facility, but once this explosion, not the explosion happened at that time, melting happened, yes, situation was taken by the then president. President Carter was the then president. And President Carter was moving and transferred the commanding the chief process to the governor. Governor is each country's chief. State is the one country. The United States is the federation of 50 countries. Do you know this situation? Okay, state means country. So a Pennsylvania country, top is called governor, and the top governor of the total governor is the president of the United States. Okay, therefore, United States president transferred the commanding system to the governor. So governor operated also the military, state military was used, not the federal military, okay? So all are state. State, one country needs to be responsible, not the one small companies, okay? Therefore, this is important, one responsible commander, but then prime minister doesn't understand these important issues, okay? And the combined analytic and intuitive approaches, both are combined both together, but he tried to collect all the informations, spending 30 to 72 hours. During that period, already explosion happened. So the most important is the speed is the highest priority. And in decision making, even under insufficient information, that's the commanding chief's responsibility. All risk must be taken. President needs to take all responsibility, okay? Transfer the initiative decision responsibility to low subordinate as possible. So transferring some of the, the responsibility to each subordinate. So only the commanding chief cannot completely cover it. Therefore, making a teaming, this should be made in 2 hours after any incident. That's most important, okay? So basically, for this particular crisis, like Fukushima situations, this responsibility and the commanding officers, the prime minister needs to collect roughly 10 important professors from the universities and the National Institute by using helicopter, less than 2 hours, and collecting all together, and start the discussion, spending 1 hour to keep any decision. So speed is most important. 24 hours is too long, okay? Encourage subordinates to accept a calculated risk. Japan is usually who will take a responsibility, even we provided some, the unmanned underwater vehicles. 2 weeks later, Japanese government sent me, who will be responsible if something happened on the robot? We are not asking any compensation for the damaged robot and so on. But that's the Japanese bad culture, okay? So you need to completely change the systems. Basically, this is human strategy, okay? And encourage the subordinate. And accept the calculated risk. All the responsibility will be taken, finally, the prime minister, okay? Fog of uncertainty and timely decision. This is important. Risk and uncertainty, I slightly mentioned. Risk is a threat. The probability of the whose occurrence can be estimated. That's usually called the risk. Uncertainty, we cannot calculate, cannot be estimated any probabilities. In that case, mathematical probability or a statistical probability. As I told you, 10 years back, we have some accumulation of statistic accumulation. So statistical probability can be obtained. And if we cannot get it, supposition, one-time incident. So in my case, in my company's case, if we cannot really estimate the probabilities, 50-50 chance. That's easiest. That's uncertainty, okay? So a natural disaster crisis, this is not my idea. This was taken by the other professor's idea. The power force, robustness, redundancy, resourcefulness, and rapidity, these are important and calculate. I will skip this. And the nuclear power plant accident comparison, 3 Mile Island and Fukushima, as I already told you, delay of water spray. This is the major problem for these explosions. Without having explosions, just the uranium rod melting doesn't make a so serious problem, exactly the same as the 3 Mile Island situation. But this serious situation happened after waiting the spray and the explosion happened, okay? So a reluctant response from the then government, I already mentioned, even we suggested, Navy suggested unmanned underwater vehicle or iRobot. The response was really late. So the reply was delayed more than 7 days with a ridiculous question. Once any problem would happen on the robot, who will take a responsibility? That's the Japanese government actions to our the offer to the this robotic system. Second, neglect of the suggestions from the DoD expert. Next day of this, so March 12th, 1 day later, our DoD suggested water spray immediately on the Daiichi power plant. This was released NHK 7 a.m. news. However, through the regular news, I usually broadcasted again continuously in the day, but this news was completely stopped by the government, and Prime Minister Khan postponed the water cooling process longer than 27 hours. This is a major problem for the delay of decision that create the explosion. Okay. Next one is neglect of our radiological data supply. I already mentioned the Yokota base flew out all the airplanes and helicopters and collecting all this information. But this Japanese government continuously after 12th. However, they had not revealed these important data to the local municipal. Therefore, the local municipal has really evacuate the people to the most highly condensed, contaminated area. That's a ridiculous situation, okay? And so key reasons of the nuclear power plant explosion, I summarize again. Commanding system, so commanding in chief should be unique one, that's important, and decide immediately even without the precise enough information. And the evacuation process, this was so ridiculously slow in Japan. So that makes the additional radiations. So evacuation process, not voluntarily, this is a typical Japanese style, but mandatory by using a military force, okay, like America. That's important to save the life of the residents. That's important, okay? It's not a voluntary, okay, evacuation. The technological problems, so backup rescue system. So there are lots of technical problems in Japanese nuclear power plant, but I don't have enough time to discuss this. So evaluation by the public. Finally, this prime minister group, like party of the Democrat Party, disappeared from the government. Therefore, it's fine, okay? So this is the public, the evaluation for this attitude. This is the terrible government attitude. Therefore, Japanese people really judged correctly to expel these parties, okay? So nuclear power plant future situations. What should be the future? Actually, current, the original total number of nuclear power plants are 52, and 2 are already missing. Therefore, 50 remains. Currently, we can restart the nuclear power plant up to the 48 rather easily. However, as long as the security system must be completely renovated, okay? That's most important. And typically, originally, 29% of the electricity was made in 2010. But currently a little better, maybe, but only 1% for the nuclear reaction. Therefore, electricity charge is quite expensive. And unfortunately, even the university, this room is set like a 28 degrees, so hot for me, okay? It's not really the developed country's situation, okay? This situation happened because this electricity is really lack of electricity at this moment. So if we recover like a 38 or 40 nuclear power plant, that's the future plan for the 2030. Nuclear reactor, 22%, and others are here. Renewable energy, currently, I don't believe this is a real number, 10% or 11%, but the 22%, actually, at this moment, I'm not expecting 20% of the Japanese electricity is recovered by the renewable energies, because technology development and investment is so slow in Japan. Okay, therefore, at least this recovery of the nuclear, the power plant, restarting a nuclear power plant is essential until the end of this year. Okay. So a nuclear power plant restarting. The restarting reactors, Institute of Energy Economics Japan is working. And basically, currently 42 reactors are operable and potentially able to restart. And 24 of these are in the process of restart approval. The problem is the persuasion for the local peoples. Okay? Local people may think the nuclear plant accident is related with the technologies. Yes, the previous politicians are really, how can I say, persuading the people. Therefore, removing a nuclear power plant seems to be the best way. That's the not highly educated person are believing. Okay, similar situation in the United States. Okay, so actually 24 restart approval is essential, and currently 4 reactors are operating this. Okay, and pressurized water reactor versus boiling water. So actually remaining the 10 are the less than 10 are the boiling water reactor. This is a little dangerous. Therefore, pressurized water reactor maybe should be really restarted. Okay. So another one, terrorist attack. This is ISIS attack for the Manchester, England. So this chaos happened. Okay. You remember these movies just a couple months ago. Okay. Another one, the World Trade Center. And now this is North Korea. You may not need more information. And I already explained the cyber war. Okay? And hacker group. I already explained somewhat this. And Japan also created a lot of terrorists. Younger generation may not remember this. This is the famous Japanese Red Armies. When I was a student, this Red Army was popular, and this Red Army hijacked these planes and going to the North Korea. Okay. And more recently, I was not in Japan during this period, so I don't know so much directly. But you may know much better than me. Aum, Shinrikyo, sarin attack, 1995. Okay, I already saw the lots of internet news. This is a serious situation. Tokyo subway sarin attack was held. So subway sarin incident is the name. Aum Shinrikyo, this a kind of the religious cult, but I don't know. This is really religious. So similar to the ISIS. Extreme, the religious persons are really working on this. Sarin is this nerve gas, and which creates. I didn't put any death numbers, but multiple number was already killed. Okay. And the Japanese economic recession. I already mentioned slightly on the dramatic drop of the competitiveness in the 1995 to 2000 period. Okay? This is another cyber attack situation, similar situation. Okay? Japanese economic recession. Why this happened? Okay? The 2003 report of the necessity of protection of the Japanese Patent Office, he's working with this. So it was caused by the technological information leak. Clearly mentioned. I'm not saying this. The Japan Patent Office is mentioning this, okay? Because Japan doesn't have a so-called espionage, this is spy act regulations. Industrial spy cannot be arrested. That's the major reason. So micromechatronics, the reason or explanation are already made. So basically, how can we create the espionage regulations? This is my company's employment agreement. So I'm just taking this. Confidential information, one example, confidential information, even after they quit the companies for 1 year thereafter, the same technology or same the process should not be transferred to the other companies. So 1 year allowance is held. Okay. Without putting this confidential agreement in the employment agreement form, of course, as I told you, major companies like NEC or Hitachi guys working in the Samsung, spending a Saturday and Sunday, weekend, like the extra work to collect the money back, because NEC, as I told you at that time, the salary was cut for the managers by 10%. So paying back for the mortgage, you are familiar with mortgage, the residence loan, okay? The house loan, this must be paid back, the same amount. In that case, the salary cut, the guy needs to collect additional salaries. Therefore, they sold the NEC technology to Samsung, okay? Spending a weekend. Nobody is really arrested these guys because no espionage act. Therefore, at least each company needs to create this kind of confidential agreement with the employees. Okay? So the Japanese economic recession. So the first one triggered 1992, Echelon. Are you familiar with this computer system? This is as I told you, www was created by the Navy or our military, okay? www, the Echelon can search almost all the world website connected information. Therefore, this collects all, and the U.S. National Security Agency get all this information. Therefore, they virtually, this is, okay. So industrial researcher in the major Japanese companies are weekend part-time worker, okay? So Echelon usually creates intentionally the Japanese currency increase. So at that time, Japanese economy is crashing, but the Japanese yen currency is booming up. Like maximum $1, $1 US is equal to 78 Japanese yen. Serious. Now the 112 yen today, okay? So a big difference happened. Therefore, Japanese company cannot really export anything, okay? Therefore, crashing down. But this exchange currency is controlled by the Echelon. Some rumor and making this, the stock change. So this is the initial trigger, and weekend partner happened. And finally, retired Japanese professors. Okay, this is the serious problem. Even at this moment, some of the University of Tokyo, Tokyo Institute of Technology professors, engineering professors who used to work for the government for a long period for making high-tech, the devices, these guys are hired by 3 or 5 years by the Chinese universities. Shanghai Jiao Tong, one of the worst the universities from this recruit. They have lots of Japanese professors, okay? So these are the situations. So a retired professor usually transfer all this, the informations to Chinese. I'm not criticizing graduate student, but you will take all information directly from these retired professors, okay? So I cannot be hired, unfortunately, by China. If I will be hired, of course, the United States have a strong espionage regulation. So I will be imprisoned for 10 years if I would be hired by the Chinese university. That's the regulations, okay? The Japanese university may need to take this kind of actions once the professors are involved in the large Monbusho. Are you familiar with the Monbusho? Montasho? The mixed Ministry of Education, okay? These are the big programs. These guys should not be hired minimum 3 or 5 years after retirement, okay? Otherwise, all technologies are taken from the outside. The same situation, United States usually hire the Japanese professors like me, okay? So all technology are immediately transferred to the United States. That's their the tactics, strategies. China is taking similar strategy. So Japan is only the country stolen all the technology from the inside, okay? So this is one of the most the popular emails sent from China, okay? Cooperation request from China. I received this email continuously. Japanese economic recession, similarly. Dear Kenji Uchino or something, okay? I'm Amber Chan, okay? The usually Chinese lady, you take like a European name first, okay? Julie Chan or any of this. So Amber Chan, okay? I don't know, this is really lady or guys, okay? Just the email usually comes. And from buyer X, probably company name, okay, Beijing, Shichangzhou Chujiang Technology Company, something, okay? I slightly modified the content, but actually this is really sent email, okay, to me. Writing this email to introduce you an opportunity about sharing your expertise with the Chinese students under a fair, high payment. This dollar, for me, it's very low, but some of the Japanese industry guys may consider this is attractive amount, okay? So for PhD and advanced payment. So for PhD students are also hired by Chinese universities to transfer this, okay? So a PhD student as well as a younger professors, and advanced payment for the distinguished professors. These are a kind of attractive sentence, okay? And we are an innovative education corporation focusing on scientific research education. We work with a PhD student, postdoc, and so on, online education program, and so on. I just cut it. This is made to so many, professors and company guys. So some guy may respond to be hired, okay? So this is the tactics to hire the taking old technologies. So this is a kind of espionage, okay? Yes?
I personally don't really feel comfortable saying that we should set up an espionage act just around this reason. There could be an argument that maybe the universities could pay the professors better, or set up a government initiative to pay the professors better to give them a more of a platform to research in Japan instead of trying to set up a legal platform to imprison them if they betray, because you can't really blame them for saying to seek a better payment for their job and say they will be imprisoned if they take a a job that pays them better, wouldn't it be shouldn't there be an argument saying that the government should be paying the universities and funding the universities
Yes.
better rather than going straight to an Espionage Act? I just don't feel comfortable talking about that straight
My
away.
suggestion, of course, to protect the Japanese technologies. Of course, as long as the professor joined to the government-wise or national-wise large the research, he should not transfer the same technology directly to the other countries. So we need some intermission. For my case, like a 5-year confidential agreement or others are made. So if I immediately hired by the Chinese, yes, U.S. has a strong espionage regulations. Therefore, I should not be hired. Therefore, I know that. Therefore, I decline. However, immediately after the retirement, many university professors are practically hired by them and teaching the same content which they worked for the Japanese government. Therefore, why this happened? Because there are no espionage regulations in Japan. Okay? So the university professors themselves are not considering so seriously. I would like to continue the same research and getting a better salary and teaching actively. Yeah, he is enjoying. But he doesn't understand this is espionage incident against the Japanese government. Okay?
Sorry, to add to that, there's a part that I agree with, but there's a part that I feel that I think because if it's a technology that's directly related with the military or the naval kind of technology, I agree that it should be regulated. But if it's a commercial technology, I mean, I don't feel comfortable going straight to an Espionage Act to regulate that.
Anyhow, so-called high-tech, it may directly related with military or not related with militaries. All are usually called the high technology, high technologies. This is if we transfer this technology to the communist country areas. This is against the previous COCOM and now the ITA. Okay. Therefore, even I'm carrying currently the private laptop computer, but the university laptop or computer or Navy laptop computer cannot be taken out from the countries. This is all against the espionage. So even I travel here, Keio University, I need to clarify all security clearance for the traveling to the universities. Penn State usually asks, is this against the ITA or others? High technology is prepared and so on. Therefore, my answer already published in the paper. Publication will be only reported in this situation. Therefore, I got some stamp, okay. Therefore, if I bring some of the military-related, the PowerPoint to others, I cannot really get out. And this is against the espionage, like ITA regulations. So United States professors are all regulated by this. So what we can report is only 3 years already old. I'm taking most of the old, 90s, earliest, the 2000. After the 2010, it's dangerous for me to disclose for the international area. Okay? Therefore, if the university professor hired by the other countries after the retirement, if they are teaching 10 years back, old-fashioned, nobody cares. This is not against the confidential agreement and so on. Usually, confidential agreement expired 5 years, okay? Therefore, fine. But almost all professors, as long as my friends are teaching and continue the research from the Tokyo University to the another university, the same issues. That's a serious conflict of interest. Do you understand?
I understand what you're saying, but I just don't see why there won't be like a confidential. I mean, like I work for a music record company, and I even had a confidential agreement in my
Yes.
agreement.
Yeah.
To not say if I have my sort of roster of
Yeah.
artists, I can't take that to another
Yeah.
company for a certain
Yes,
number of years.
if you move, yeah.
But even I had that, and then I don't understand why a university wouldn't have that. And you seem to be suggesting that all Japanese universities don't have.
Good
any
question.
agreements.
That's my question to the Japanese university, okay? So can you answer to this question?
I have no idea, but maybe the Professor Chino and the American style, government style is focusing on the national interest and the taxpayers' right. But in Japan, there are lots of the life science or it's not related to the military, but it did happen. Lots of the professors are hired by foreign university.
Actually, interestingly, when I was hired by the Tokyo Tech as well as Sophia University, I have never signed any employment agreement. University didn't have any employment agreement. How long a period or fixed term or salaries, nothing. How about the Keio University currently? Do you need to sign the employment agreement?
No signature, no.
See, okay? No agreement, that means no confidentiality, nothing. This is very dangerous situation. That's what I'm really suggesting you, okay?
The government set some kind of COCOM-related mandate to prohibit that kind of secrecy to the foreign country. So
I don't know the current situation, but I'm talking 1990s, okay? I chatted with my former professors and so on. Therefore, I'm not taking any, the citation from the other articles. My personal communication with the privately with the company guy as well as the professors. I chatted more than 20, 30 professors. Yes, they are continuously working exactly the same or extended version. So that as long as the university hired these guys, of course, their technology is higher than the Japanese technologies. Okay? Yes?
My question is, so do you have two confidential regulation? I mean, one maybe from the military and the other is from the state university?
I have both.
You have both. So
Yes. Currently, military, of course, military obligations are really small. I'm not a military officer anymore. But the 2 years period, of course, confidential agreement, I need to follow the military. But after that, currently, I'm following only the confidential agreement or ITAR situation through the university. University is controlled by the ITAR regulations, COCOM or ITAR regulations. Therefore, they usually ask me when I going out abroad, are you bringing a laptop computer? Yes. Are you bringing something data? Yes. What is the data content? We need to describe everything, okay?
So it means that the government will notify the relative universities and organizations and force them to obey the regulation. Is that right?
University regulations is a little easy. But of course, military regulations, all my data before leaving, they will check all the data, okay? It takes longer, okay? So that's the typical Navy's, okay, situation. We cannot carry out a laptop from the Navy office. They will search all the time like X-ray, and if I bring some data, they will take it, okay? Therefore, they all are regulated inside. Even the inside, of course, regularly, they will check my laptop computer inside. Of course, like a regular situation, all the FBI or the commanding officer needs to watch my laptop all the time. Even I'm putting some of the security. So usually laptop for the navies, we have so-called CAC card, access card. What is C? CAC is the abbreviation. So CAC card is inserted, so we can access to the, the inside laptop or internet. So depending on the levels, I'm a top secret. Therefore, I can access like Ed Snyder's, this area. But the lower level can access this. Commanding officer can access to my laptop by using this. Okay, commanding officer, some of the subordinates are assigned. So he is eligible to access any laptop computers for this. Okay, that's the system. So we cannot hide any, the personal issues in the laptop in that case. So I'm using a private computer and this. So usual email system is irrelevant to the Navy communities are using my laptop in my home, okay?
Professor, can I have the computer?
Yeah. So the Setup Espionage Act regulation, that's my advice. Okay. Break.
Yeah.
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
申請書を翻訳するビジネスが成立